You lose sometimes by taking risks, but you always lose by holding back. In fact, the biggest risk you'll ever take in your life is not taking one at all. It blows my mind how so many people are wired to thinking, well, I've tried this in my business. I've hired this person. I've done this program. I've spent money on this thing and it didn't work, or I didn't follow through, or I'm not seeing the results I hoped that I would see, or I still have that course sitting in my email and I've not touched it. So why would I spend more money on my business when I've not really fully utilized the things I've bought before, or the things didn't work before and I don't have more money coming in right now? So why would I spend more money when I don't have more money coming in? Does this sound familiar? I can get those same thought patterns. Those are all rooted in scarcity, in lack, and in fear. And in fact, those are going to keep you broke. Those are going to keep you stuck exactly where you're at. Because you lose twice by saying, I'm never going to go forth and put skin in the game and learn from someone new and decide today that I'm going to take a different approach and I'm going to show up differently. If we base everything on what we did, whether it was yesterday, last week, 2 years ago, or our behavior patterns for our entire lives, you will absolutely never grow. And my question to you would be, what is your plan to get to where you want to go in your business, in your bank account, in your life, in your freedom, in your options, and all these things? What is your plan to get there, and not get there a year from now, not get there in November of this year? Really make a clear dent and strong progress in getting there by summer. If you don't, join me inside Selling with Soul and do the damn thing. Really, is it to just keep figuring it out, keep posting more? I guess I'll just keep trying. I'll keep listening to the podcast and toe dipping here and there. I am telling you this because I love you. Half measures will yield half measure results. Taking toe dipping risk and toe dipping action will yield toe dipping results. I know it's scary. I know it's terrifying. But what's worse is you staying exactly where you're at right now, or even worse than that, putting in time, energy, effort, and heart and soul into something for more months, and then still not getting ahead. I don't want to see that for you. This is the 500th episode of Project Me with Tiffany Carter, the podcast, and I am doing something really special for those of you who aren't 100% able to join Selling with Soul, even though I have payment plans that start at $377 a month. But if you're needing additional help because you're just starting as an entrepreneur, or you've had some crazy life circumstances come in the way, this is your last day to apply for our half scholarship. I will absorb the cost and pay half of your enrollment fee inside Selling with Soul, my signature program. This is only available once a year, and we're starting literally in 2 days. Like, these are the final hours right now. The instructions are right in the show notes, but all you need to do is send an email to support@projectmewithtiffany.com. Put in the subject line application and share your reasoning of why this half scholarship is going to help you tremendously grow in your life and your business, what it would mean to you, what you're going to do with it. And then you'll hear from us within 24 hours if your submission was accepted for one of 4 half scholarships I'm giving away in celebration of our 500th episode. If you're tired of hearing the same old basic mindset and motivational fluff talk, you've come to the right show. Welcome to Project Me with Tiffany Carter, the podcast, where we dish on everything from managing that crazy brain of yours to manifesting abundance to my straightforward, actionable steps that will make you major money online. Now, I'm not your typical multimillionaire entrepreneur. It takes a small village to keep my anxiety and depression in check. I'm inherently disorganized with an intense obsession with office supplies. Your girl here is a digital marketing content expert who's generated over $200 million in sales. I promise by tuning in twice a week, you will get a much needed refreshing dose of truth, clarity, and cash making advice. Now let's get to it. What up, my people, my posse, my fellow crazies? It's your host, Tiffany Carter, and this is the show that is going to help you grow your business, your bank account, your mindset, and your relationships. This series, we are on part 3 now, is designed to fast track a cash influx into your business. So I want to remind you, I started out making $17,000 a year as a TV journalist. So what I'm sharing with you in this 4-part special series, Money Hacking for Multi-Passionate Business Owners, can be applied to any income level, even if you're in debt, and it applies to any industry you're in. The way I teach and coach is rooted in reality with a heavy dose of abundant creativity plus proven profitable strategies. As a business owner, whether you are just starting in your business or you're 8 years in, you need to have periods of big cash infusions in order for your business to grow. And how do you want to fill up your bathtub? Do you want to fill it up one drop at a time? Or do you want to fill it up with a steady, strong stream of water? Now, both will end up filling the tub, but one will certainly take a painfully long time. So long, in fact, the water will be cold once it's finally full. Or you can have that steady stream of warm water be inside that tub within minutes and not waste any water because it's not going to be cold. You're not going to have to constantly refill it, which makes more sense to you. But how you've been approaching your business, and I'm not saying all of you, but I have a pretty strong hunch, a solid percentage of you, are you're doing the bathtub filling with drips of water, or sometimes you have the water turned on, sometimes you have it turned off. And anything other than a steady, strong stream of warm water, you're going to end up losing and wasting. It's going to cost you in excess water because the water is going to end up being cold. It's going to cost you in time where you could have spent inside the bath and enjoying it and relaxing. And yet it feels more safe to that scarcity mind. It actually can even trick you. You can even gaslight yourself into thinking it's more responsible. It is more prudent. It is smarter to basically do that trickling stream of water. Well, I shouldn't be spending too much money. I understand I could get there faster if I hire Tiffany as my private coach, or if I join her Selling with Soul, or if I hire a personal trainer to help me on my fitness journey, or if I pay a nutritionist for a consult, whatever it may be. I know it'll get me there faster. I know it'll be easier because these people are experts and been there and done that and have the roadmap and had the ways. But I'm not making that kind of money yet. So I'll just wait until I am making more money or I'm further along, and then I'll do it. That would be like saying, okay, well, I will continue to not fix the plumbing issue in my bathroom because that's going to cost me money. And I don't want to spend that money right now. So instead, I'll deal with this really trickling stream of water to fill the bath. And yeah, I know I'm going to have to constantly have the water running in order to keep it warm. And I might not be enjoying my baths as much, but I'd rather do that than just get the damn thing fixed. And then maybe even not really be taking baths because it's such a pain in the ass to fill it. And now I don't get that rest and relaxation and joy that I deserve. So I'm just going to sacrifice. All because I don't want to pay to have a damn plumber come and deal with a plumber and call the plumber and wait for the plumber and all the stuff. I had to go deep with that analogy because I want you to really hear how crazy your mind can get. And my mind gets just as crazy. I'm not any different than you. I simply have hacked my mind and have made it a discipline to manage this wild brain of mine. That's why I call you guys my fellow crazies. I'm just as crazy. But I have been doing these hacks for years so that muscle's a little more trained, and I make it a top priority in my life to manage it. And I pay and have support around me to help me manage it. Because when we're in our crazy and we're not thinking and it's all in our head, we miss stuff. You know how I say, if you're standing in the picture frame, you can't see the whole picture. It's impossible. It's always easy for us to like coach our clients or give an opinion on someone else's relationship or see a red flag for someone else. But we could be like standing in the biggest red flag there possibly is, and we're blind to it because we're so in it. That's why we can't do this stuff alone. We can't do life alone. We can't do trauma healing alone. You certainly shouldn't do business alone. And if you trick yourself into thinking you can, the cost is going to just get higher and higher and higher and higher until you finally surrender. And it might not be high enough for you yet. Maybe you need to be in more pain before you go, oh my God, this does sound crazy. It would make more sense for me to get a loan or for me to use PayPal credit or for me to dip into savings in order to learn how to create offers, package offers, launch things, price things, word things, create content that actually makes me money that I can replicate over and over again for many, many, many years to come. That makes more sense for me to invest in that now. Yeah, temporarily, it might look like a setback, but what I'm really doing is pulling a bow and arrow back. How does an arrow shoot forward with the most strength? You've got to pull that sucker back and then release and let go at just the right time. You can't just pull back and let go. You can. I mean, God knows where that arrow is going to end up. But you pull back, you hold, you strategically look and wait, you calmly release, and then you hit that damn bullseye or damn near close to it. But our minds get in the way. So nearing my first year of business, the taxes were due. I assumed I would owe very little, if any, since I was investing so much in growing my business. Plus, I only had 2 dang clients. That was fun. And to my total shock and then full panic, I owed $5,500. This was my first time ever owing taxes because coming from being a corporate employee, I always got money back. Even if it was $15, I got money back. Well, I didn't have the cash on hand to pay this tax bill unless I went into my savings or 401k. So like most beautiful solutions and creative ideas, they're born out of a problem, out of being in a tough situation, and we're forced to figure out a solution. And I did. Now, I wasn't 100% sure it was going to work, but I knew I had to try. 15 years ago, almost to the day, which I find so interesting since it's the 500th episode of Project Me with Tiffany Carter, the podcast, top 1% podcast worldwide, featured podcast on iHeartRadio. This all still blows my mind. But 15 years ago, almost to the day, is where my offer hacking for big cash infusions was born. Over the years, of course, I've further refined it, and now it's so well tuned that I can teach it to anyone from any industry, and it works if you actually choose to work it and do it. And this is the exact cash generating strategy I walk my Selling with Soul students through step by step and help them customize it for their brand, for their niche, for their personality style. And Selling with Soul is literally hours away from closing for the rest of the year. This is only offered once a year. And this is where you are going to get cash infusions into your business and learn how to package and structure your offers and your products and your content so that you are bringing in the cash, you're bringing in the clients, you're bringing in the sales by summer. So that if you want to take some big trip by the end of the summer, you want to go, oh my God, I am so much further along. I'm already at 10K a month, 15K a month. I'm on my way to be at 25K a month. I can actually see now that I can quit the job I have by the end of the summer because I'm seeing things finally work and it's working with consistency, and I actually get how it works and how it's scalable and how it can grow instead of wondering and throwing spaghetti at the wall and then having a mess to clean up every single time something doesn't work. Because at a certain point, you're going to get really tired of that and quit. You can swipe up to get the details, all the student reviews, and to join us, projectmewithtiffany.com/selling with soul. It is in the show notes. We have payment plans in there that start at $377. I've made it so you can't give yourself some money story, but you might go back into lack. And then I want you to ask yourself the question for this and any other area of your life. This applies. What is my plan to get my desired result if I don't do this? And if your plan isn't a real plan, by the way, hope isn't a plan, trying isn't a plan, time isn't a plan, posting more isn't a plan. If you don't have one, then you have your answer right there for you. All right. So let's go into how you are going to get these cash influxes into your business. If you don't make sure you have ways to bring cash in when you need it, you're going to spiral out and have a problem. And I don't care what level of business you're at. In my other company that I have, I work with multi-billion-dollar clients. They have seasons of wanting a cash influx. And in my business, when I need a cash influx, it's not because, oh my God, I'm in scarcity or I have no money in the bank. It's because I just went through a big growth period. So there's times of growth where you're really pouring and reinvesting back in your business. It could be from learning new things. It could be from joining a mastermind, hiring a coach, being in a program, hiring a new employee, updating your website, buying more product, leasing a storefront. You're in a period of growth. So you're pulling back that arrow. And yeah, you can't just have that pulled back and have it just sit there to the end of time. That's not good. That's going to end in failure. So that period of growth, and then you're like, okay, now it's time for a cash influx. It's time for me to use and really hone in on everything that I've been strategically investing in and making those investments that actually yield a return, which listen to the other parts of this 4-part mini-series I've given you, because I talk about strategic and non-strategic spending. But now we need to utilize that. We need to put that investment to work for us. Otherwise, what's the point of the investment? So after those periods of being pulled back, it's like, okay, I know after this, I'm going to need a big cash infusion. How do you get a big cash infusion in your business? Now, obviously, I can't be customized for every single type of business or every single person listening to the pod, because that'd be 1,000,000 hours long. So I'm going to give you some different ideas on several different industries, at least to get a start. The customization would come when you join Selling with Soul. And yes, I'm going to keep saying Selling with Soul, and you only have a few hours left to join. And why am I going to keep saying that? Because I practice what I preach and teach. I believe so much in my programs, in my offers, in my products, that why wouldn't I emphatically share it when I know that's going to help you? And that is one of the things that I want you to do for these big cash infusions. You have to come up with, it could be a sale, it could be a packaged service, it could be a new course, it could be a reinvented program, like a new and improved. It could be something that doesn't cost people money. It could be a podcast, it could be a membership, but whatever it is, it has to give you the tingles so strong where you're going to keep talking about it and not worry if you're annoying people. If I'm annoying you by talking about how I can help you, I don't know what to do with you. If you're like, well, Tiff, I'm already in Selling with Soul. Like, I don't need to keep hearing about it. Well, actually you do, because it's good for you to hear how much I talk about it to remind yourself how much you have to talk about it. I just got this DM and I have to share it with you. I got it yesterday at 3:35. I appreciate that you not only talk the talk, but you also walk the walk as a person. You're so real, T. You make me believe in good, even when the only talk the talkers trying to fake ass their way through self-help and online business. I appreciate you, and I gladly pour my money on you. And always for you, then, now, and always. Fire emoji, heart emoji, fire emoji. And she's one of the people inside Selling with Soul. I was like, wow, what a beautiful compliment. And sometimes it's uncomfortable for me to follow my own advice. Have you ever noticed that? Results from your training, 30 to 40 DMs from women telling me they feel seen and finally feeling hope. That's from one of the bonuses you get in Selling with Soul on how to get clients and cash in your DMs. No cold messaging, waking up every morning to dozens of DMs, people coming to you, not you going to it. We don't want to chase. What happens when you try to chase a cat or a dog? They don't come to you, do they? No, you stand there with a cookie, with a treat, with catnip, with something you know that animal wants, and then they come to you. That's exactly how I teach you. I signed up. If I can't invest in me, then I cannot expect my ideal clients to invest in them by hiring me. I'm super excited. So excited to be a part of Selling with Soul. I'm all in, did a lot of thinking, but I feel my intuition guiding me towards this. Can't wait. I mean, tons and tons of messages from the people already in there. What a beautiful group. You guys know where to go. My point in sharing all of that is not just to go, hey, I'm not trying to convince you. I'm trying to tell you what is available for you right in front of you, the solution to get you from point A to point B and be done with it. And I'm so emphatic about it. So what is something you're so emphatic about with your ideal clients? Is it something to do with some inner healing work with your ideal client? Is it have to do with someone having a special bundled hair treatment along with something else so that your clients are keeping their hair healthy, but while also having the blonde highlights that they want or the weave that they want? Is it that your ideal clients need to have something bundled where there's a community essence, but they're also getting individualized coaching? So I want you to really brainstorm what it is that you feel from feedback that your ideal clients need help with the most. Whatever they believe they need help with the most is what's going to sell the most. If you're trying to create offers on what you believe they need and what you know they need, and that is not on point with what they believe they need, you are totally screwed. So you need to make sure you're on that same wavelength with your ideal client. Then take a look at packaging it. So how you get that cash influx, first you have to be excited. That's why I keep using Selling with Soul as an example. You can feel my excitement, my energy around it. And I've been talking about it for a while and it hasn't died. I might be a little sick of my own voice. So what would get you that excited? What would get you all jazzed up? Because it starts with your energy and your conviction and how you convey it. And then with excitement comes creativity. How can I creatively offer this? Are you going to do a grand reopening? I mean, look at some big brands as examples, right? You see a lot of beauty brands where they will refresh their packaging. Their old packaging was fine, but they wanted a cash influx. I do a lot of work with consumer packaged goods companies in the beauty world, in the wellness world. They're simply doing it for a cash infusion. Sometimes they do need to change the labeling if they've changed ingredients or it's been stale or whatever, but their product line's kind of flat. They need to breathe some fresh excitement into their particular product or offering. You'll see this happen with even authors. They'll release a second edition, a fifth edition of a book, where there's additional excerpts added, or it's just a refresh with a new cover. So what can you do in your business that gives it that glow up? Is it fresh pictures that you need? Is it the fresh marketing material? I'm doing right now with Kara Alwell. She's coming out with her signature program that she has, and it's called Iconic. And I'm helping her behind the scenes do a brand refresh on this, infuse her fresh energy where she's at now versus where she was the last time that she offered it, having exciting, fresh wording, imagery, and then fresh offers around it, right? So when I was looking at her stuff, I'm like, what could we do to make this fresh and exciting? Like, She wants to do a master class in it. She might offer, I don't want to give this away because I don't know if it's launched yet, but she might offer a new payment plan because I told her what I did for Selling with Soul, that I offered insane payment plans. You get a 6-month option payment plan, I believe. It's like 4 or 6 month, and then you get a year payment plan where I'm the one who's acting as the bank for you so that you can get in here at a cost that might feel more doable to you right now. And she's all about that life. Maybe it's that you give a bonus. Maybe that you are doing like a brow and lash thing on people, and then they get a bonus of, they get 2 blah, blah, blah treatments. I don't know, like 2 keratin. This is totally from my ass. 2 keratin hair treatments that they get to do at home by buying that package. So sometimes it's like the bonuses, the extras that someone gets. It could be the pricing that someone gets that makes that so exciting that will bring that influx. You could have a pop-up offer. You could have an offer that's just available for a weekend. You could have a flash sale. You can decide to have your entire birthday month dedicated to a special or an offer, or it could be a season. You could have a springtime thing that springtime, get your springtime sweat on for my fitness entrepreneurs. And then you could do a whole play on words on like, someone's going to take this and you can take this. Stop sweating this. Stop sweating how you look in photos. Stop sweating what you're going to wear this summer. Stop sweating when you're at the beach because you feel like you need to be covered up. Like, stop sweating the small stuff in your life, and do a whole play on fun words around all of that. But you hear how important it is to infuse that energy of fun, of creativity into it. You got to breathe that excitement. So what can you do in marketing wise, in showcasing and sharing your offers? Another thing that we do in Selling with Soul. What can you do to get a lot of eyes on your stuff? And you guys do have eyes on your stuff. You might not feel you have enough. I mean, we always want more, of course. And anyone who says like they don't want more eyes on their stuff, that's strange. That'd be like having a book or a podcast and not wanting more people to listen or read it. Of course you do. But the eyes you currently have, you already have buyers watching. They might not be buying because your shit is stale. The way you're presenting your offers, you've not done any exciting sale or a fresh take on your offer or a bundle or some kind of cool bonus giveaway or repackaging or rebranding. You're kind of bored with your own shit, so are they. If you're feeling kind of meh about your stuff, they're feeling meh about it. And guess what? You're going to make meh money. Yeah, I came up with that. Yep, there you go. That's the brilliance over here. What can we do for, let's say you're a mindset coach. I like picking examples that might not be as obvious. And maybe you right now, you're mainly doing one-on-one coaching, which, newsflash, there's nothing wrong with that. That's the most exclusive way to work with you and should be your highest ticket way. It is for me as well. I love private coaching. I just only take 6 people at a time. And those spring applications, by the way, are open. That link's in my bio on Instagram at ProjectME with Tiffany. So for this, let's say mindset coach, right? For private coaching. And you're like, but Tiffany, I've offered this private coaching over and over again. People know I have private coaching. I always talk about the private coaching. You're right. You're bored with it. And so are they. And people get desensitized when you're talking. Yes, people do need repetition and hearing about something over and over again. But do you notice, like, even when you're a kid, or for those of you who are parents, you say to a kid over and over again, okay, make sure you wipe your feet when you come in the door. Make sure you wipe your feet when you come in the door. Make sure you wipe your feet when you come in the door. Your kid glazes over and is totally zoned out. All right. And they might listen to it most of the time, but at a certain point, they don't even hear you anymore, because it's like that Charlie Brown thing where it's like, so we need to wake people up. We need to wake them up to your stuff. You can use visual branding to wake them up, messaging, your energy to wake them up, your verbiage to wake them up, something exciting and new to wake them up, right? Part of why I did this special 4-part mini-series on the podcast, I'm waking up my listeners. I want to always give you guys new, fresh, exciting things, because that's what makes you continue to lean into the show. And then I wanted to give people who aren't yet familiar with the show an excuse to listen to it, a great entryway. And then it makes me excited to share it, because I've got this 4-part mini-series of money hacks that I have never taught anywhere before. And they're right here for free for people. I can't not be exuberant and talk about it. Then I asked my team to create some customized graphics and podcast tiles that are just for this 4-part series, so that it stands out in the feed, it's fresh, it's different, and it's as simple as that. So when we're looking at like that mindset coach example, right, with the private coaching, it's like, well, what could I offer? Well, maybe you need to rename your private coaching. Maybe you need to have a secondary version of your private coaching program that is laser targeted on a subspecialty of your niche, right? So maybe you do success mindset coaching as your main thing, but maybe you're offering a private coaching program specifically targeted to working on healing relationships. So it's still private coaching, and it can still be a container that's set up even identical, but you're having a new and fresh area of focus for those people, for those ideal clients. And that's what makes it fresh. Then you give it a fresh name. You have fresh imagery that you're using, fresh verbiage in explaining the promises and how you help the people. And then that brings new excitement, and it wakes up the audience, because they're not hearing the same old thing from you in the same old tone of voice and the same old manner. They're hearing a new exciting thing, like, oh, like I went to go pick up, I'm a big Neutrogena fan, also client, but I was a fan before they were a client. And I was looking for a sunscreen, because actually, when you're listening to this, I'm already in Mexico. So I'm in Mexico. And I wanted to get this sunscreen that's sheer, that doesn't leave that white film on your face. It's like, I get the zinc's good for your face, but you look like Casper the Ghost. I mean, you look crazy. So I was looking for this special sunscreen of theirs, and I couldn't find it at Target. And I was like, what the hell? And I was going through all their products, which are a shit ton of products. And then I finally found it, and they did new and improved packaging. Keep in mind, they're a client, but I don't work on that particular product line of theirs. But I was like, oh, and what did it make me do? Because that particular product had like new and improved packaging, it made me stand there for about 5 more minutes looking at all of their products, because it just made me interested. It made me lean in. It made me get interested, like, oh, maybe they have new products that I'm not aware of. And it made me sit there and study. And then I ended up buying 2 more things. So then they made more money. It's no different when applying this to a service-based entrepreneur. It's no different in network marketing. It's no different if you have a laundromat. It is no different if you are a coach, if you're a healer, if you're a yoga instructor, if you have retreats. It is no different. You need to create your new and improved packaging. You need to create a sensation. You need to breathe fresh life into your stuff and in your business, and get excited. Go to a craft store, go to a kid's toy store, go to Target, go to TJ Maxx, go be in nature, go somewhere where you feel creatively inspired. This is what fashion designers do. They go on different trips and look at different textiles in different countries who are into different colors and different textures. They go out in nature and get ideas from there. Get out of your desk. Go to a new coffee shop. For the love of God, get out, from your house, from your bubble, from your zone. Go somewhere different and get inspired and be open and allow yourself to be inspired. When you put this out there with that kind of energy, there is no way you're not going to have a cash influx in your business. Without a doubt, I feel so strongly about this for you. But I will say this. If you don't know how to package, price, and present your offers in a way that feels good to you and your ideal clients, yes, you're certainly not stacking the odds in your favor to having a major cash influx. If you want to stack the odds in your favor, yes, you do need to invest and you do need to do Selling with Soul. ProjectMeWithTiffany.com/selling with soul. You only have hours left to get in here. This is the only program you are going to need when it comes to selling and showcasing and sharing your products online. Sure, you continue to want to learn and learn from other people. I think that's beautiful, but you're not going to need to after this because we pare it all down so that you get the results. If you are loving this show, which I would like to think you are, or you wouldn't still be here right now, and you've never taken the 30 seconds to leave a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts, or even at the very least, tap the 5 stars there, and you can tap the 5 stars on Spotify. If you're a Spotify listener, they don't have written reviews yet on Spotify, but you can at least tap the 5 stars. Please do this for the 500th episode. I would be so grateful. Leave your name or Instagram handle inside the review. And if you take a screenshot and DM it to me, I am going to be surprising every single person who leaves a review with something really, really special. And if you're like, no, I just want to do it, Tiff, because I love the show, I don't need anything in return, that's beautiful and lovely. And I appreciate that. And many people do that. And you can still leave your name so I can at least know who wrote this message, and I can visually and energetically thank you for being such a beautiful supporter of the show and helping it grow. And you guys sharing this series with someone who really needs like a money mindset makeover and has been kind of in a slump and has been feeling so unmotivated and kind of stuck and in that blah energy. Share this series with them. Help them wake up. I can't wait to see all the different things that you've created and the cash that you're bringing in. This doesn't have to be 3 weeks from now. You can even launch something as soon as next week. It depends how invigorated and excited you get by bringing this cash in. And if you feel stuck and you're not sure where to start, and now your multi-passionate, overwhelmed brain is going wild, you can choose to stay in that zone, or you can join us in Selling with Soul and filter all of that beautiful creative energy of yours, filter it in, zone it in, get focused, get support, get the clear things that you need to do and not do, and make this damn thing work for you where you're filling up that bathtub with perfectly just above warm water with a solid, steady flow of water so that you can get in and enjoy that luxuriating bath of yours and maximize it and sink into it and not have to settle for anything less. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.